Okay, guys, welcome to another review of ours. After that fucking awful.
We just went
Final
into a massive
Destination
rant on
5.
Final Destination
Yeah,
5, so we're
if you
going to
haven't
calm
seen
down
yeah,
and we're going to explain a difference of opinion on this film, The Dark Knight.
yeah, and I thought this film was okay. I thought, personally, I preferred Batman Begins, but Chris, yes, really likes it, so I'm going to let him take the lead on this one, so
Alright.
go ahead.
Now, Dark Knight, for those of you who haven't seen it, and we know a lot of these reviews are kind of very late, but we just want to put them out there. Dark Knight is the sequel to Batman Begins of 2005. It stars Heath Ledger as the Joker, Christian Bale is playing Batman. Is there anyone famous in it? Morgan Freeman, he plays Lucius Fox.
Who plays Two-Face?
Oh, I can't remember, someone not very famous. Maggie Gyllenhaal, she plays Rachel.
Aaron Eckhart.
Oh, Aaron Eckhart plays
Two-Face. He done a pretty good job on that.
So, moving on from that, me and Marcus had a sort of difference of opinion on how good this film actually was. So, first we're going to go straight into the story. For me, the story was fantastic. I mean, saying this as a massive Batman fanboy.
Although, I must tell you guys, before he saw Dark Knight and Batman Begins, he would never go near anything DC.
I wasn't really a DC fan. I was very anti-DC before seeing...
He's more or less an Marvel fanboy.
Marvel, yeah.
He's a complete Marvel fanboy. Hated anything DC.
As soon as seeing this film, I became sort of this Batman fanatic.
Yeah. Now it turned him.
Yeah, it completely turned me. So for storyline, I'd say it was so intriguing, and a lot of people complain that this film's too long. I think it's just like perfect because you've got so much to put into it. I would give the story at least an 8. Marcus.
Okay, the storyline, I wasn't as big a fan as some people. I mean, I watched it a few days ago as well, just to see if I could understand why so many people loved it. I found it okay. It's nothing groundbreaking. I mean, I've seen it all before, in my opinion. The only difference is, of course, Batman and his villains. But I mean, I found it decent, but not great. So I'll probably say, if you're into Batman, you'll really, really love it.
Yeah.
I'm not as into Batman as some people are, but I think he's an okay character, and I really enjoy Batman Begins. But I'm going to give it probably a 6 or 7.
Okay, the characters. Now, with Batman and the Joker and Rachel, and Harvey Dent, who then becomes Two-Face. And
that's not much of a spoiler if you read the comics.
Yeah. If you haven't, sorry.
Yeah, then sorry about that, guys. I might just put in.
Should have put a spoiler alert at the top. Anyway.
Yeah.
That whole sort of character development I thought was very good. I liked the story of the Joker, how he kept sort of changing his story. I liked the fact they didn't do Heath Ledger as the Joker from sort of, as the comic, if you haven't read the comics say he sort of gets toxic waste spilled on him, and that's what changes his personality, changes his face. In this, he's sort of scarred to make the grin, and he wears makeup and dyes his hair. I like how they changed it. I like how it was slightly different from the comics.
He liked his Joker though.
Oh yeah, the Joker is just my favourite cartoon character, comic book character now. I would give the characters 9 out of 10. Marcus.
Well, characters, okay, there's nothing wrong with the characters, I would say. I think they've done a really good job on the characters. Batman was just as good as he was in Batman Begins. The Joker was extremely menacing. I'm surprised this film passed as a 12, actually, in my opinion, because of...
There's an implied part in this film, for those of you who haven't seen it, where he drives a pencil into a man's brain.
He also, there's an implied torture scene as well, where he tortures someone dressed like Batman. So, yeah, and then you just see, it's pretty gruesome. Anyways, so that would be more the atmosphere though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the characters, I didn't really have a problem with the characters. I mean, some of them, I didn't feel they needed to be in the film. I thought like Two-Face, Harvey Dent, whatever. I don't believe he needed to become Two-Face in this film. I think they should have made him Two-Face in the 3rd film and then just given him a big part from the beginning, rather than just giving him a little small part at the end. And I know he's gonna die because of half his face is gone, but I think it would have made more sense to give him a longer part, because it just seemed rushed, and which does go more into the story. But so the characters, I'll probably give because of Two-Face, I'll probably give it an 8.
What I would just say is that Christopher Nolan intended to make a trilogy, which is why, pardon?
He is.
Yeah, he's only making this as a trilogy, which is why Two-Face was put in rushed at the end of the film. The acting. Now, obviously, when you have actors of such class, such as Morgan Freeman, who is one of the best actors of all time, I would definitely say. Christian Bale, he's good. I mean, on one hand, that whole sort of "I'm Batman," that gets a bit grating after a while. But obviously, he's playing
Tim Burton's Batman.
Pardon?
I actually prefer Tim Burton's Batman.
I don't. That's sort of a comic book to me. Anyway, a cartoon comedy to me.
That's just my opinion. I actually like those films.
Yeah, but I thought the acting was Heath Ledger in particular. I thought was fantastic in that film. I mean, obviously now he's dead. A lot of people saying, "Oh, he was so fantastic. He was the best actor." I would say he definitely was. Brilliant.
I think he's overhyped though.
He is overhyped now, but I think he did deserve like a lot of praise for playing the Joker as well as he did. So for acting, I would give an 8. Marcus?
Well, for me, acting, I thought acting was great all round. I loved the acting in the film, and I would actually give acting a 10.
No, I just forgot that Michael Caine was in it, which is
he's good.
Who played
one of the best British actors in my opinion.
So the atmosphere. Now, as Marcus said, there was a lot of sort of.
Oh, by the way, guys, I would just like to say, for action films, I wouldn't usually include the atmosphere, but in Batman, it's so important. So we are actually going to mention it.
So, as Marcus said, there was an implied torturing. They made the Joker not only comedic, but they made him menacing as well.
Extremely menacing.
So it's like in the comics where he's sort of joking on one hand, and then on the other hand he'll go and like slash someone's throat. He's
very unpredictable in this film.
That's the word, unpredictable. They made Batman like there's a part where the Joker goes, "Oh, you got a fight, you got a little fight, I love that," and then Batman, "You're gonna love me," and like punches him. It's brilliant how they.
And the thing I found the most menacing is he wanted Batman to break it. The Joker wanted Batman to break his one wall, and if he breaks his one wall, then everything would be fine. Well, I mean, then it would never stop. But I mean, then the Joker's menace would be gone. But the thing is, that's the only way to get rid of his menace, because he is in jail, but he broke out as easy as anything. He can break out extremely easily.
Yeah.
So I mean. The atmosphere was amazing because you never felt safe, because you knew the Joker had a plan all along. And he said he doesn't have a plan. You do have a plan, mate. You do have a plan.
It's very exciting. And there's a really good bit at the end with
Spoiler?
Oh, no, it's not a spoiler too much. Where Batman's driving off, and who's Commissioner Gordon? He's a watchful protector, a Dark Knight, and I thought that was a very good scene right at the end.
I really hated that scene, but
I would give
that
we've
got
the
completely
whole atmosphere of an 8.
Opinions on it.
Marcus?
Atmosphere, I'll probably give it a solid 8 because I never felt safe watching it.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the violence
action,
and the action.
I guess now. Action, violence sort of thing.
So a lot of it, I mean.
It is actually pretty violent for a 12.
It's fairly violent, I would say. Oh yeah, for a 12. I don't think that this should have been a 12.
No way.
I think what they should have done, maybe released it as a 12 version, but also released a 15 version where it's a lot more violent. With the Joker, you could see how unpredictable and violent he can be. I mean, I already talked before, there's a bit where he implied that he's put a pencil in a man's face. He makes 2 henchmen fight with a snooker.
Well, they cut away from that scene. So.
Yeah. I mean, no, you don't see it, but you know it's going
It's
to
implied,
happen.
But there is one also. There is also one really big interrogation scene with Batman and the Joker, where Batman is beating the shit out of him,
smacks him into tables.
That scene was. I thought that scene exceeded the 12 limit.
There's also, and I won't spoil it too much. There's also a bit where the Joker, you see that the Joker's sewn a phone into someone's stomach.
Yeah.
So that whole action. Oh, and there's a lot of fighting, and
there's a lot of fighting. It's more or less. It's an action film where it's constant action. That's what I thought broke the story up a bit. And because it's all action. The action in the film never stops. There's no breaks from the action.
That's what makes it.
It's
so
like
good.
It's a 2.5-hour action ride. You will not get a break while watching this film. It's the same as it's sort of the same idea as Insidious, where it doesn't have a single break.
Yeah.
Well, in Insidious there's one, but it lasts about 2 seconds. But anyways, back to
you're
Dark
fully
Knight.
charged up.
Yeah.
So like you'll be looking around.
And
you see that someone's
I
thrown
would
out the
also
window.
like to mention that this is not a film that you can start and then pause and come back to later. You have to watch it straight through, otherwise you won't get the same effect.
So there's parts where like he's throwing someone out the window, and you look away and you look back, and he's got a bazooka, and you look away and you look back, and sort of Batman's car's the Batmobile's blown up. And you look away, you look back, and they're in an interrogation room. It's very sort of non-stop,
very realistic,
much like the first one. So it's more of a continuation of the first one. So I would give the whole action bit, I would give that a 10.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably give the action an 8 purely because I thought it was overused.
Yeah.
I didn't think it needed that much action.
Okay. So
overall.
So overall, as a massive Batman fanboy, I would have to say this. I'd give this film a 9. I just love it so much after seeing it. If you're not so much into Batman, I think you'd probably give it about a 6 or a 7. Marcus?
Well, yeah, as you said, I'm not as into Batman as he is. I mean, I like the character, and I read some of the comic books every now and again. As I said, I love Batman Begins. I even love the game of Batman Begins. So I am into the actual Batman universe. But I mean, I'm not as big a fanboy, and I didn't enjoy this film as much as Batman Begins. So I'm probably going to give this film a 7.
Okay. So there you got 9 and a 7. We explained our difference of opinion, and if you haven't seen the film, I would definitely recommend you see it. Would you, Marcus?
Well, yeah, I'd recommend it's worth a watch. I'd say it's worth a watch.
Yeah, make your own sort of beliefs on it.
If you have the time.
Bring out your own review if you want, and we'll...
Yeah, post it as a response if you like.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This is Mastersmith 50, Chris S from 2009, signing out.
Yep.